right, well, tonight's game had everything. Great plays on offense, on defense, suspense and drama, and most importantly, a win for Piedmont, their first of the season. Hi, I'm Ben Felder, News Director of the Piedmont Citizen, and joining me is the Citizen Sports Editor, Ben Schuff. And Ben, the second game of the season, trying to bounce back from that tough loss to Deer Creek last week, and Piedmont did just that with a 29-26 win, a win that they had to go almost 70 yards on their final drive of the game, under 1 minute left in this game, to pull out the victory, but they did just that, and this was an impressive showing for Piedmont against the visitors, Harrah.
Exactly. You had to wonder how Piedmont was going to bounce back after the pretty much a blowout last week at Deer Creek. They responded well, like you said. They had the game-winning touchdown drive. Steven Funkhauser, I mean, as far as I could tell, comes out of nowhere. Kid didn't do very much last week. I mean, none of the Piedmont offensive players did last week, but Funkhauser, 10 catches by my count. He had 3 touchdowns tonight, well over 150 yards receiving. And the big drive at the end of the game, all 4 of the completions were to Funkhauser. You know, you got to wonder how he manages to get open so easily on a couple of those plays when they've been throwing him the ball all night. But you got to give credit to the quarterback, Brett Adams. He had a heck of a game, first start as quarterback this year.
Yeah, Adams took the start for Piedmont at QB, and this was sort of a surprise. Last week against Deer Creek, Darius Burris was the starting quarterback. He didn't even dress for this game, and we're not sure on the specifics of that. But Brett Adams, who has played quarterback before, he's been a backup last year, going into this year, got the nod to start, and he looked pretty stellar tonight. I mean, this was a kid that was nothing flashy, but pretty methodical, pretty calm. He had more time to throw than Darius did last week, but his throws seemed to be on target, and you know, that Funkhauser connection was working really well for him.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that impressed me the most about Adams, he just looked very poised in the pocket. I mean, not to say that Burris didn't look last week, because I mean, last week's game, this week's game were 2 totally different games, obviously. But Adams, I thought, performed very well. I mean, to throw a kid in there and said he was the backup last year. But he after the game, he said he pretty much knew Tuesday of this week that he was going to be starting, and he got most of the reps in practice, and he performed very well tonight.
Yeah, then the running game too for Piedmont was going pretty well, especially in that first half, and that's probably what opened up things for them in the passing game. But I mean, really on all aspects on the offensive side of the ball, it was night and day compared to last week. And granted, Harrah is a different opponent, but I mean, this Piedmont offense really bounced back pretty well tonight.
Yeah, Mitch McGinnis looked great running the football tonight for Piedmont. Like you said, just night and day difference from last week. I guess the thing that impressed me most, or maybe one of the most impressive parts of the running game tonight, Piedmont gets the ball with 1:06 left before halftime. They drive, I'm going to say it was 60 yards or so maybe. And the 1:06 left, the first 3 plays they run, or that they have, all running plays, and McGinnis picked up about 25 yards to get that drive going. And that was huge. I mean, you wouldn't think you run 3 straight runs with 1:06 left on the clock, and it's right before halftime, but Piedmont did, and McGinnis performed very well.
Yeah, and these weren't necessarily ideal conditions to be playing in, as you can tell, very windy tonight. In fact, the game was an hour delayed due to lightning in the area, but no real rainfall during the game, but a lot of wind, as there still is. Piedmont was good on offense. They were also pretty good on defense. They probably, you know, without having the stats in front of me, we're probably going to find that the defense actually gave up some big numbers and stats, but they also came up big when they had to.
Exactly, when they needed it most. I thought a pretty pivotal point in the game, late, about midway through the 4th quarter, they scored the touchdown right after they converted the 4th and 19.
Yeah.
Harrah has that 4th and 19 play. They picked up about 30 yards down the sideline. They score the touchdown. Piedmont comes back with the football. Piedmont goes 3 and out. It seems like the momentum was totally in Harrah's favor, and then Piedmont's defense stepped up huge, get a 3 and out of their own, and Piedmont gets the football back. I thought that was a huge defensive stop right there about midway through the 4th quarter for Piedmont.
Yeah, you know, what I thought was really impressive about this team tonight is, you know, after last week's game, we probably should stop talking about last week's game. I'm sure Piedmont is ready to finally put the Deer Creek loss behind them. But, you know, after last week's game, you know, coming into this week, obviously the kids are really ready to bounce back with a win. But, you know, they found themselves down early. They were able to battle back. They went into halftime with the lead. They lost that lead. Not only did they lose that lead in the second half, they lost it late. It didn't look good for Piedmont, but this team still had the resolve to hang in there and trust this offense. offense to finally get the W.
Yeah.
And I think you were talking to Church, and he said this was really about which team wanted it more, and Piedmont really looked like the team that wanted this win more.
Yeah, the other thing he said too was, Piedmont getting the ball with just over a minute left, having to go, I think it was about 40. I think they started that drive on the 46-yard line with 1:06 left. And Piedmont runs kind of a natural hurry-up, no-huddle offense. And that was one thing Church said. He thought that really benefited them because it's not like they're running a 2-minute drill where they're going faster than they're used to. It was just kind of the norm, and obviously it ended up well for Piedmont tonight.
Yeah, well, big win for Piedmont. They draw to even on the record column, 1-1. Still early in this year, but you got to think that this is a good game to get some momentum from. So, well, it's kind of cold out here, so we're going to get out of here. We're going to end tonight's program with some interview clips with the coach and a few of the players. Piedmont gets a big win, 29-26 over visiting Harrah. For the Piedmont Citizen with Ben Schuff, I'm Ben Felder. Join us again next week.
What did you tell the guys, the offense, that unit? 1:06 left on the clock.
we didn't have time to talk to them. That's something that I felt like coaching staff did a really good job tonight in all areas, but that's one thing we really hit on at halftime is knowing this is a tough team, physically tough, mentally tough. The game's not over, and so we had prepared them for that at the half, as knowing that you're going to have to come back at some point probably, and sure enough they did, and they made plays. So that was a pretty exciting game.
Sure. Did you say anything to him, because you had the drive to end the first half the exact same time on the clock, 1:06? Did you say anything to him in terms of, we did this in the first half, we can do it again?
That's one of the advantages of having a no-huddle offense. I mean, what we did there at the end is what we are, and so moving fast and making adjustments on the fly. These are smart kids. That's not coaching. That's just these kids pick things up so quickly, and just the way it works.
Stephen Funkhauser just had a heck of a night.
Man-child, didn't he?
Did you see this coming from him?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's why I've been talking about him all along. And Brody's a little gimped up, but we've got another great tight end in him. And Stephen showed, he's got big play potential, and we've got athletes. And the offensive line was probably his biggest story as anything tonight, giving the quarterback time to make decisions. And Brett Adams played lights out tonight. So
that's I wanted to ask about him next. I mean, he steps in the first start this year, and it seemed like it seemed like
gamer.
Exactly.
He's a gamer, and that's what you want. He made great decisions all night. He didn't put us in any bad situations, and he made some really big plays when we had to have them. So that's what you want out of that position.
Walk me through that last drive you guys had.
I don't even know how we did that. I don't even know if we got a penalty that one. It might have been one before, but we just kept pushing. And I threw it, and I thought I overthrew it. I was freaking out, and then Stephen somehow caught that. It was crazy.
Talk about that fourth down play. I think it was 4th and 11. Stephen has a catch over there on the sideline. If I remember right, you kind of scrambled a little bit to buy some time. And how did that develop? Do you remember?
Well, he ran like a flag. It was a 2-shoulder. Foster ran the slant. He ran the flag behind him, that corner bit. So we threw that over the top to him, and he just caught it. Did just enough to get the first down and go out of bounds, so it worked out.
Coach said that he saw this coming from you. Did you surprise yourself at all tonight?
I came out here just doing what I had to do. I want to step up for once because Deer Creek, I kind of shut down, was out half the game. And I just stepped up and I had my teammates right by my side.
Sure. The game-winning touchdown you have there towards the 19 seconds left. Just talk about the route that you ran. It seemed like there was a little double move in the corner.
Yeah, I was running a post and I was afraid I wasn't going to get it because the guy cut in front of me. And I just saw that there's a back door and Brett just got the great pass there.
Was there any adjustments you guys made offensively after the first 2 drives? Because it seemed like you guys went 3 and out. I think you had a penalty. It was a little bit reminiscent of Deer Creek last week, and then after that it seemed like a totally different unit.
Well, we just had to settle down and play our game. We've been practicing hard all week. I can't be more proud of my offensive line.
How much momentum do you feel this gives you guys?
I think this is a great momentum for this